Oh, thanks. We talk about this a lot. And the reason that we've included this in this presentation is we want to describe what's happening in the endocrine system from the lens of looking at artificial hormones. So when we understand that the endocrine system is this beautiful part of our body that works as a family, it all works together. We've got all these different glands that go through the body, and the hypothalamus at the top is our nervous system. It's our responses to what is happening in our environment, which communicates with the pituitary gland, and the pituitary gland is sending out messages throughout the endocrine system to be producing the hormones to keep us in homeostasis. So, for example, the thyroid gland gets the messages about it. There's a link with the thyroid gland and the ovaries that says, okay, it's time for periods, for example. Thyroid gland is also responsible for our metabolism, our temperature, our what weight we are, hot and cold. The thymus is part of our immune system. The pancreas is to do with blood sugars, but is also digestive. It's 95% of its role is digestive. We've got the adrenal glands, which produce our adrenaline and cortisol to get this, which produces our stress response. And then we've got the testes and the ovaries. So what happens is that this, what I love talking women through this is when we have a list of different symptoms. And often women are going, I just don't know where all of these are coming from. And when we start to look at it through the endocrine, we can see, oh, okay, there's something going on in the endocrine. Because what happens is if one of these glands goes down, it has a knock-on effect with the other glands. So if we have constant stress in our adrenal glands, and the hypothalamus and the pituitary are trying to produce that adrenaline and cortisol, we are going to start to see a knock-on effect with our thyroid. So we might start putting on weight, or our thymus, so we start getting colds, or our pancreas, so our digestion goes off, or our ovaries and testes, so our sex drive or our periods start to go off. And it can be coming from stress. So we need to be looking at, and when we put something like artificial hormones into the body, you are overriding the pituitary gland, you are overriding the ovaries. And so that is two major players in the endocrine. What do we think is going to happen to the thyroid, to the thymus, to the pancreas, to our nervous systems? It's to our adrenals if we've got two of our major glands that are being overridden.
So actually talking about the pituitary gland, it is common for women when they stop taking the pill to not ever get their bleeds back. So they actually go into a type of an early menopause, and that's actually called, what's it called? Forgotten. Primary, I have to think about the words, primary pituitary failure. And they'll just never get their periods back. And the GP will say, oh, that sometimes happens. But it actually happens commonly. And I don't know of any woman who is sat in a GP surgery signing a disclaimer where she understands that this could happen. And I actually saw a woman who came off the pill. She'd been on the pill for 3 years. She came off the pill 5 years ago and has never got any of her bleeds back, and has actually had some scans, and they said that her pituitary gland has been damaged from it. So I think we're starting to really play with fire if we're giving this to 14.